The desperate plea. The night was thick with silence, the kind that presses heavy on the chest. Dense forests stretched endlessly, shadows dancing under the dim light of distant stars. Every sound seemed amplified. The crunch of dry leaves beneath, hurried footsteps, the ragged breath of a desperate runner, the sudden snap of a twig. A warning. Somewhere in the darkness, a creature hunted. A flash of pale movement tore through the underbrush. Fast, uneven, trembling. Her breaths came, in sharp gasps, each one more ragged than the last. Her hands clawed against the cold bark of an ancient pine, leaving raw, bleeding scrapes. The alien girl didn't dare look back. She could feel it. Something massive, something ruthless closing in. The sky offered no mercy. Clouds swallowed. The moon, plunging the forest into a black abyss. She stumbled forward, pain slicing through her side, but she forced herself up. The beast's growls rumbled low and cruel behind her. If she slowed down, she would be caught. If she stopped, she would die. Ahead, a faint glow flickered, warm and steady. The outline of a small cabin emerged through the thick trees, its windows, casting rectangles of light into the darkness, like a beacon of salvation. She reached out trembling hands, nearly collapsing against the door. "Please." Her voice was barely a whisper, cracking with desperation. "Let me in." Inside, the cabin was quiet except for the low crackle of a wood fire. The human occupant, hearing the sudden pounding on his door, grabbed a worn hunting rifle, his face tightening with caution. The rural isolation meant few visitors. No one came here without a good reason. His breath caught when he saw her, a pale figure, soaked in blood, eyes wide with terror, unlike anything he had ever seen before. "Who?" "What are you?" he asked, his voice firm but not unkind. She gasped. "Please. I'm running. They're after me." Before he could respond, a deafening roar shattered the night, a guttural, bone-chilling sound that froze his blood. The beast was close, and it wasn't just an animal. "Get inside!" the man shouted, unlocking the door. She stumbled through, collapsing by the fire. The man locked the door behind them, but outside, heavy footsteps thudded closer. The cabins. Walls seemed too thin to hold back the nightmare just beyond them. "I don't understand," the man said, eyeing her closely, his rifle ready. "What's chasing you?" Her eyes, glowing faintly in the firelight, were pools of raw fear. "They want me. Captured. Returned. If they catch me, it means death." Before he could ask more, a furious pounding rattled the door. The man braced, heart racing. Outside, the beast snarled, slamming against the wooden frame with inhuman strength. "Who are you running from?" he demanded, voice low but urgent. She hesitated, then whispered, "Not from this world." A shudder ran through the cabin. The night had just begun. The man's name was Jack, a loner by choice, living far from the noise of civilization. His life was simple: woods, wildlife, and the quiet peace of solitude. But tonight, that peace was shattered by an impossible reality. Aliens don't exist, Jack muttered to himself. Yet here she was, proof staring him in the face. Her skin was pale with a faint luminescence, her features delicate but unlike any human's. Her eyes held secrets deeper than the stars. "Why me?" Jack asked, lowering his rifle slightly but not dropping his guard. She swallowed hard, pain flickering across her face. "Because you're human, they think you will help me," Jack frowned. "Why would I do that?" "Because humans are different. You don't just destroy what you don't understand. You have something inside you, hope." Her words hung in the air, fragile yet powerful. Suddenly the beast's fury exploded against the door again, sending splinters flying. Jack rushed to reinforce it with a heavy chair. "We don't have long," he said, eyes darting to a trapdoor under a dusty rug. "There's a basement. You can hide down there." She nodded, struggling to her feet. As she descended the creaking stairs, Jack heard her whisper a strange, haunting song, one that seemed to ripple through the walls. The air thickened. Down. In the basement, alien technology glowed faintly beneath tarps and old tools. Jack had no idea what it was, but it hummed with a power that set his skin on edge. "What is all this?" he asked, voice trembling. She looked up, eyes fierce despite exhaustion. "My people's secrets. I'm the last to carry them." Above, the beast's howls grew louder, more desperate, more furious. Jack gripped his rifle tighter. "We have to survive," he said. "Whatever it takes." Her gaze locked with his. "Thank you," she breathed, and in that small cabin, two strangers, one human, one alien, prepared to face a darkness neither fully understood. Cliffhanger. The beast is pounding on the door. Will the cabin hold? What are the alien girl's secrets? Why is she being hunted so relentlessly? Shelter and secrets. The pounding at the door rattled the small cabin, shaking the wooden frame with terrifying force. Jack's muscles tensed as he pushed the heavy chair tighter against the door, sweat beading on his forehead despite the cool night air. Outside, the beast's roars echoed like thunder, but inside the cabin was tense with an uneasy calm. Down in the basement, the alien girl crouched beside a strange, glowing device, her fingers trembling as she brushed dust from the surface. Jack's steps echoed softly behind her as he descended the creaky stairs, rifle in hand. What is this?" Jack asked, his voice low and filled with disbelief. She looked up, eyes weary but sharp. "Our technology, secrets of my people. Powerful, dangerous. I carry knowledge that some would kill to reclaim." Jack swallowed hard. The world he thought he understood was shifting beneath him. "What do you mean? Why do they want you so badly?" he asked, glancing nervously toward the basement door, as if the beast might be just behind it. "They want to control it, or destroy it," she said. "If they capture me, they will find this, and the balance between worlds will tip." Jack's mind raced. "Balance between worlds?" She hesitated, then nodded. "There are more than just humans and animals out there. Powers older than we imagine. The beast hunting me. It's not natural, it's scent." Outside, the pounding paused for a moment, replaced by a chilling silence that made Jack's skin crawl. Then came a low mechanical growl, scraping and grinding like metal on stone. "Sent by who?" Jack asked, urgency tightening his voice. "The ones who betrayed my people," she whispered. "Those who want to enslave or exterminate us all." Jack moved closer to the strange device. It pulsed with faint blue light, a web of circuits and alien symbols, glowing softly beneath cracked glass panels. "Can this thing help us?" he asked. "It might," she said cautiously. "It's a beacon, but also a trap. It can call for help or lead enemies right to us." Jack's gaze flicked toward the basement stairs. "We don't have much time. The beast knows where we are." A sudden crash upstairs made them both jump. The beast was trying everything to get inside. Jack raced back to the main room, rifle raised, heart pounding. The alien girl followed, steady but tense. As they stood, side by side, waiting for the next assault, Jack studied her carefully. "Why did you come to me?" he asked quietly. She looked away, pain flashing in her eyes. "Because you are different. Humans. You fight with hope, not just fear. I've seen my people lose everything because they forgot that." A roar erupted as the beast slammed the door again, splinters flying. Jack fired a warning shot. The creature howled in frustration but did not retreat. "We need a plan," Jack said, breath ragged. The alien girl's eyes darted around the cabin, searching. "There is a safe place," she said, voice low. "Not far from here, but we must move before dawn." Jack frowned. "You expect me to trust you, to risk my life on an alien's word?" She met his gaze steadily. "If I die, your world will never be the same. They will come for you next." Words hit him harder than any threat. Reluctantly, Jack nodded. "We'll go, but not without a weapon," she smiled faintly. "There is something else you should see." Together, they returned to the basement. The alien girl moved to a small, covered panel and pulled it aside, revealing a sleek, metallic device no larger than Jack's palm. "This," she explained, "is a communicator, our lifeline to my people. But it's damaged." Jack took it carefully, amazed at the lightweight design. "Can you fix it?" "I can try," she said, "but we need parts and time." Outside, the beast's growls faded into the distance, replaced by an eerie quiet. Jack realized the night was far from over. Hours passed as the alien girl worked with delicate tools, repairing the communicator while Jack kept watch. The tension between them was palpable but unspoken, a fragile truce born of necessity. Jack studied her more closely. Despite the fear in her eyes, there was something fierce and resolute about her. She wasn't just running, she was fighting for something far greater. Finally, the communicator flickered to life, a soft hum filling the basement. A holographic image appeared, fragmented and shaky, but enough to show a shadowy figure speaking in an alien tongue. The alien girl's face tightened with urgency. "They're searching. They know I am here." Jack's grip tightened on his rifle. "Then we move at first light." Outside, the forest was waking. The rising sun pierced through the canopy, casting golden rays on dew-soaked leaves. Jack and the alien girl packed what they could carry, hearts heavy but minds sharp. Before leaving, the alien girl hesitated by the cabin door, glancing back at the small haven. "Thank you," she said softly, "for giving me shelter, for trusting when—" There was no reason. Jack nodded, eyes still scanning the tree line. "Stay close," he said. "We're not safe yet." They stepped into the forest, shadows lengthening behind them. The hunt was far from over. Shadows in the forest. The forest was thick and alive. The morning sun filtered weakly through dense leaves, casting fragmented light on the tangled undergrowth. Jack moved cautiously, every sense alert, the rifle heavy in his hands. Beside him, the alien girl's steps were sure and silent. She knew this terrain better than he did, but the unease in the air was palpable. It wasn't just the threat of the beast chasing her. Something else lurked unseen, watching from the shadows. Jack's ears caught a faint rustling ahead. He froze, signaling for silence. The alien girl's eyes narrowed, lips parting slightly as if tasting the air. "Do you hear that?" Jack whispered. She nodded. "They are close." "Who?" Jack asked, voice barely a breath. "Not the beast. Something else. Sentinels. Guardians of the forest. They patrol for any who are not meant to be here." Jack scanned the trees, shadows shifting with the breeze. He felt a sudden prickling on his skin, as if invisible eyes were tracking there. "Every move. We have to keep moving," she said urgently, but the forest seemed to close in around them, the path twisting and turning like a maze. The alien girl led with purpose, but even she glanced over her shoulder, unease flickering in her gaze. After what felt like hours, they reached a small clearing bathed in sunlight. In the center stood a strange stone altar, covered with glowing symbols that shimmered faintly. "This is a marker," she explained. "My people left these in places of power. They can hide us from those who seek." Jack stepped closer, feeling a strange hum vibrate through the air. The symbols pulsed softly, casting eerie light on their faces. "Will it work?" he asked. "For a time," she said, "but not forever." As they rested briefly, Jack noticed her glance at the horizon, tension returning to her features. "They are coming," she said quietly. Jack swallowed the lump in his throat. "Who exactly?" Before she could answer, a sudden crack echoed from the tree line. Both of them snapped to attention. Out of the shadows emerged figures, not quite human, but not fully alien either. Their forms were twisted, cloaked in dark armor that seemed to absorb the light. Sentinels, the alien girl breathed, stepping protectively in front of Jack. The figures circled slowly, silent except for the soft hum of their weapons. Jack tightened his grip on his rifle, but the alien girl raised a hand. "Wait," she said softly. "We do not want to fight." One of the sentinels stepped forward, voice mechanical and cold. "You carry forbidden technology. You must surrender." Jack's heart pounded. "We don't want trouble. We're just trying to survive." The sentinel's gaze flicked to the communicator in Jack's hand. "Return it, or be destroyed." The alien girl shook her head. "That device can save many lives. It is not a weapon." "Your people broke the pact," the sentinel said. "You will be judged." Jack glanced at the girl, panic rising. The sentinels were closing in. Suddenly, a sharp whistle pierced the air. From behind a tree, a figure leapt into the clearing, a tall man with rugged features and a determined expression. "Jack, we don't have time!" the newcomer shouted. Jack blinked in surprise. "Who?" "The Resistance," the man said. "We've been tracking the Sentinels. They're hunting you and her." The Sentinels hesitated, their glowing eyes narrowing. The alien girl spoke quickly. "This is my ally. He can help us." The man nodded to Jack. "We don't have much time. Come with me if you want to live." Without waiting, the trio dashed into the forest, the sentinels' pursuit quickening behind them. Branches whipped their faces as they ran. Hearts pounding, breath ragged, at a sudden fork, the man stopped, pulling a small device from his pocket. "This way," he said, pressing a button. A hidden path opened through a dense thicket, revealing a concealed entrance into the earth. Jack hesitated. "An underground bunker?" The man nodded grimly. "Safe for now, but not forever." Inside, the air was cool and stale. Dim lights flickered overhead, casting long shadows on metal walls, lined with computers and weapons. Jack looked around in disbelief. "What is this place?" "The Resistance," the man said. "We're fighting to keep the truth alive. About aliens, about what's really out there." The alien girl's eyes softened briefly. "Then you understand the danger." Jack sat heavily on a metal bench. "I don't know what to believe anymore." The man smiled faintly. "That's the first step." Over the next hours, the alien girl shared fragments of her story, her people's history, the betrayal, the beast, and the Sentinel's ruthless pursuit. Jack listened, absorbing every word. "You humans have always feared the unknown," she said. "But you also have strength, compassion, hope, resilience. That's why I came to you." Jack met her gaze, feeling a flicker of something unfamiliar, connection, maybe even trust. Just then, alarms blared through the bunker. Red lights flashed urgently. The man cursed. "They've found us!" The alien girl stood, determination blazing in her eyes. "We must move. Now!" Jack grabbed his rifle as the bunker doors began to seal shut. "Where next?" he asked. "There is a place beyond the mountains," she said. "A sanctuary where we can be safe for a while." Jack nodded. "Lead the way." As they prepared to leave, Jack caught sight of the communicator glowing softly in his hand. A message blinked on the screen, a distorted image, a single word. Help. The hunt was far from over. The sanctuary beyond the mountains. The forest was still, trembling from the sudden flashes of light, the strange force that had erupted like fireflies in the dark. Jack's heart raced as he scanned the shadows, but the figures, sentinels or something else, had momentarily vanished. The alien girl's hand gripped his arm tightly. "We don't have much time. The sanctuary is far, and they will not stop." "Hunting us?" Jack nodded, adrenaline sharpening his senses. "Lead the way." The rugged man from the Resistance, who had introduced himself simply as Marcus, checked his gear. "I know the path, but it's dangerous. Few have made it through without being caught." They moved quickly, pushing through the dense forest. The sun climbing higher, but offering little warmth. The silence between them was heavy with unspoken fears and uncertainties. Jack glanced at the alien girl. Despite her calm, there was a fragile edge to her composure. What exactly is this sanctuary? She looked ahead, eyes distant. A place hidden from the sentinels and the beast. My people built it centuries ago for those who needed protection. It is shielded by ancient technology, undetectable and inaccessible to outsiders. Marcus nodded in agreement. A legend in these parts. If it exists, it could change everything. The thought sent a flicker of hope through Jack's chest. After all they'd faced, a safe haven seemed almost impossible. As they climbed a ridge, the wind howled through the trees. The alien girl slowed, panting lightly. "Are you okay?" Jack asked. She nodded but didn't speak. Suddenly a sharp cry echoed from below. Jack whipped around, rifle raised. A shadow burst through the trees, a young woman, wild-eyed and frantic. "Help! They're coming!" she gasped, stumbling toward them. Marcus caught her before she fell. "Who are you?" "My name's Ilara," she said, gasping for breath. "I escaped from the Sentinels. They took my family, my village. Please, you have to help." Jack exchanged a quick glance with the alien girl. This was no accident. The Sentinels' reach was spreading. "We're heading to the sanctuary," the alien girl said firmly. "You're safe for now." Ilara looked around, eyes wide with desperation. "Please, they have machines that track the communicator. Jack carries. They know we're close." Jack's grip tightened on the device in his pocket. He had hoped its signal wouldn't betray them. "We need to move faster," Marcus said. They pressed on, the terrain growing harsher with every step. Rocks and gnarled roots made progress slow, but the promise of safety pushed them forward. Night fell, and the group made camp under a canopy of ancient trees. A small fire flickered, casting long shadows on their faces. Ilara sat close to the fire, glancing nervously into the darkness. "I don't know how much longer I can run." The alien girl kneeled beside her, voice gentle but firm. "You are stronger than you realize. Together, we can survive." Jack felt a swell of admiration for her resilience. As the fire crackled, Marcus pulled out a worn map, tracing a route with his finger. "The sanctuary lies beyond those peaks," he said, pointing to jagged mountains etched against the night sky. "If we can cross the range, we should be safe." The alien girl looked at the mountains, a shadow crossing her features. "There's a reason why few return from there," she murmured. "The passage is guarded by more than nature." Jack leaned in, curiosity burning. "What kind of guardians?" She hesitated, then spoke slowly. "Old defense systems, remnants of my people's technology. They protect the sanctuary, but they also test those who seek refuge. Only the worthy may enter." The words sent a chill down Jack's spine. This journey was far from over. Suddenly, the night was pierced by a distant howl. Deep, guttural, filled with menace. "The beast," the alien girl whispered, eyes wide. Jack's heart pounded. "It's coming!" The firelight danced wildly as the group scrambled to gather their things. "Stay close," the alien girl ordered. "We must reach the mountains before it catches us." They set off into the dark, guided by moonlight and instinct. The forest around them seemed to breathe, alive with unseen eyes and whispered threats. Hours later, exhausted and trembling, they reached the base of the mountain range. Towering peaks loomed. Above, jagged and imposing, Marcus surveyed the path ahead. "This is where the real challenge begins." The alien girl closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them with renewed determination. "We climb at dawn." As they settled for a few hours of restless sleep, Jack's thoughts raced. The sanctuary promised hope, but the dangers had only multiplied. Between the relentless sentinels, the deadly beast, and the unknown trials ahead, survival felt like a fragile thread. But he knew one thing for certain: he would not abandon the alien girl or Ilara. Whatever secrets lay ahead, he was committed to seeing this through. The first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of orange and pink. The air was thin and cold as they began their ascent. The mountain path was steep and treacherous, loose rocks slipping underfoot. The group moved slowly, each step a test of endurance. Suddenly a rumble echoed through the valley below. The ground trembled. Jack looked down and saw a dark shape moving swiftly through the trees. The beast. It was closer than they thought. The alien girl's voice was steady but urgent. "We must hurry." They climbed higher, the sanctuary's hidden location drawing nearer with every breath. But as they reached a narrow ledge, a sharp crack split the air. The rock beneath Marcus's foot gave way. "Marcus!" Jack shouted, lunging forward, but it was too late. Marcus tumbled down the slope, disappearing into the shadows below. Jack's heart froze. The alien girl reached out, but he pulled back, shaking with shock. "Ilara, stay here. I'm going down," Jack said, steeling himself. "No! It's too dangerous," the alien girl protested. "We can't leave him," Jack said firmly. Taking a deep breath, Jack began his descent into the darkness. The forest below was silent, except for the faintest whisper of leaves. He found Marcus, impined under a fallen tree branch, grimacing but alive. "I'm okay," Marcus groaned. "Just a broken leg." Jack nodded. "We have to get you to the sanctuary." With great effort, Jack helped Marcus to his feet, supporting him as they climbed back. By the time they rejoined the group, the sun was high. The alien girl smiled faintly. "You saved him," Jack shrugged. "We look out for each other." They pressed on, the mountain air growing thinner, colder. Finally, they reached the summit, a vast plateau hidden from view, surrounded by shimmering energy barriers. "This is it?" the alien girl whispered. "The sanctuary." As they stepped forward, the barriers shimmered and parted, revealing a breathtaking valley below. Ancient buildings rose from the earth, covered in vines and glowing softly with alien technology. Jack breathed deeply, awe filling him. For the first time in weeks, hope felt real. But as they entered the sanctuary, a new presence stirred, watching, waiting. The true test was about to begin. Trial of the Sanctuary. The valley of the sanctuary glowed faintly beneath a sky streaked with clouds. Jack felt a mix of awe and unease as he followed the alien girl, Ilara, and the injured Marcus deeper into the ancient city. The softly humming energy barriers had parted for them, but the words from moments ago echoed in his mind, chilling him to the core. "Only the worthy shall survive the trial. Prepare yourself." The alien girl, whose name Jack had learned was Lyra, glanced at him and the others, her eyes steely. "We don't know what form the trial will take. The sanctuary's defenses are not just technology. They test your mind, your heart, and your very soul." Jack swallowed hard. "Sounds more like a test than a refuge." Lyra gave a small nod. "A test to protect the sanctuary from those who might misuse it." Marcus grimaced as he tried to adjust his broken leg on the cold stone floor. "I don't care what test they throw, I just want to survive." Ilara stepped forward, her expression serious. "We have no choice. If we fail, the sentinels will catch us, and worse, the beast will still be out there." Jack tightened his grip on his rifle, but the weight of uncertainty settled over him. Survival was no longer just about running. It was about confronting something unknown and dangerous within this mysterious place. As they moved deeper into the sanctuary, the architecture changed. Buildings rose like crystalline spires, shimmering with alien runes that pulsed with soft light. The air itself seemed charged, humming with a presence unseen but felt. Suddenly, a translucent figure appeared before them, a holographic guardian, tall and radiant, its face a shifting pattern of light. "Welcome, seekers," it spoke, voice melodic yet firm. "To enter the heart of the sanctuary, you must face the trial of worth. Your fears, your doubts, your truths, all will be tested. Only those who prove their spirit shall pass." Jack exchanged a nervous glance with Lyra. "What happens if we fail?" The figure's glow dimmed slightly. Those deemed unworthy will be cast out, lost to the sanctuary's defenses and left vulnerable to the perils beyond. A shiver ran down Jack's spine. "Then let's get it over with," Marcus muttered, grimacing. The Guardian gestured, and a shimmering door materialized behind it. Without waiting, Lyra stepped forward. Jack followed, with Ilara and Marcus close behind. As they crossed the threshold, the world shifted. The cold stone gave way to endless darkness. Then faint lights flickered in the void, revealing scenes from each of their pasts, playing like memories projected in the air. Jack saw his childhood home, the face of his late father, the regrets of opportunities lost. Lyra's memories were different, flashes of her distant world, the peaceful life shattered by the beast. And the sentinels. Ilara's eyes welled with tears as she relived the capture of her village. Marcus's scenes showed battles fought, comrades lost, and a haunted past he rarely spoke of. The Guardian's voice echoed, "Confront your truths. Only by accepting them can you move forward." Jack clenched his fists. The memories twisted, morphing into fears, failure, loss, abandonment. He felt the weight of all the what-ifs, the guilt he carried silently. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared before him, a monstrous version of the beast that had chased Lyra, but now shaped by his own doubts and fears. "Run," it whispered. "You are weak. You will fail." Jack's breath hitched, heart pounding. The shadow lunged, and instinctively Jack raised his rifle, but the figure dissolved before his eyes. Lyra's voice broke through the darkness. "You're stronger than you think." Jack forced himself to breathe deeply. "I'm not running anymore." The scene shifted to Ilara, who faced a wall of burning memories, her village ablaze, her family gone. Tears streamed down her face, but she stepped forward, defiant. Marcus faced his own trial next, a vision of his fallen comrades accusing him of abandoning them. He staggered, anguish in his eyes, but then straightened, gripping his makeshift crutch. "No," he growled. "I did what I could." Lyra watched silently. Then it was her turn. Her memories unfolded, peaceful days on her home planet, the horrific moment the beast tore through her life, the guilt of not being able to protect her people. She faced an echo of the beast itself, whispering accusations, threats, but instead of fleeing, she stepped forward and held her ground. The darkness shattered, and the group found themselves back in the chamber, bathed in soft golden light. The Guardian's figure shimmered. "You have faced yourselves and emerged stronger. The sanctuary accepts you." Jack exhaled, relief washing over him. "Not everyone passes," the Guardian said. "You are lucky." Lyra smiled softly. "We still have much to learn." Marcus, still limping, gave a weary nod. "What now?" The Guardian gestured toward a vast chamber ahead. "Within lies the sanctuary's core, knowledge and power. Your world has never seen, but beware, secrets have a price." As they entered, Jack's eyes widened. The chamber was filled with advanced technology, holographic star maps, and strange artifacts glowing softly. Lyra moved to a console, her fingers tracing symbols that brought images of distant galaxies and planets to life. "This is what we've been searching for," she whispered. "A way to fight back, to protect those who cannot protect themselves." Ilara reached out, eyes shining with hope. "Can it stop the Sentinels?" Lyra nodded slowly. "It might." Suddenly, alarms blared. The sanctuary trembled. The Guardian's voice rang out urgently. "An external threat approaches. The Sentinels have found you." Panic surged through the group. Jack grabbed his rifle, adrenaline flooding back. Lyra's eyes darkened. "We must prepare to defend the sanctuary." Marcus limped toward the exit, determination in his face. "They won't take this from us." Ilara turned to Jack. "This is what we've been running to face." Jack swallowed hard but felt a fierce determination rise inside him. "We fight, not just for ourselves, but for everyone who needs hope." As the sanctuary's defenses powered up around them, the group steeled themselves for the battle to come. Outside, In the distance, the relentless hum of the Sentinels' machines grew louder. The final confrontation was near. The hidden truth. And new dawn, the sanctuary trembled beneath the assault of the Sentinels' machines. Outside the shimmering walls, the relentless metallic drones swarmed like a deadly storm. Inside, Jack, Lyra, Ilara, and Marcus braced themselves for the inevitable clash. But before the battle erupted, the alien girl's communicator blinked, furiously, a hidden warning from within their own ranks. Lyra's eyes narrowed as she checked the message. "There's a traitor here!" Jack's heart skipped a beat. "A traitor? Who?" Ilara looked around, her face pale. "Could it be one of us?" Marcus hissed. "We don't have time for this. We should be preparing to fight." Lyra shook her head. "No, this changes everything." She accessed the communicator again, revealing a distorted video feed, a figure lurking near the sanctuary's core, transmitting information to the Sentinels. Jack stared in disbelief. The figure was cloaked, but the gait, the subtle hand gestures, they all felt hauntingly familiar. "Who is that?" Jack asked. "It's someone I know," Lyra whispered, voice trembling. "Someone I trusted." Suddenly, the cloaked figure stepped into the light, and Jack's breath caught. It was Ilara. The room went silent. Ilara's eyes darted nervously, but she finally spoke, voice low and urgent. "I didn't want you to find out this way. I had, to protect my people. But the Sentinels promised they would spare the innocent if I helped them." Lyra's expression hardened. "You betrayed us." Ilara shook her head. "No. I tried to buy time. The Sentinels are more powerful than you. Realize if we fight them head-on, we all die." Marcus growled. "You risked everything on a gamble." Ilara swallowed hard. "I had no choice, but I never wanted to hurt any of you." Jack struggled to process the betrayal, but he knew this was more complicated than simple treachery. "Why didn't you tell us?" Jack asked. "I was afraid," Ilara admitted. "Afraid you'd stop me before I could save as many as possible." Lyra's voice cracked with pain. "You risked all of us, for a hope that might be a lie." Suddenly the sanctuary shook violently. The Sentinels had breached the outer defenses. The glowing barriers flickered, then collapsed. Jack raised his rifle, heart pounding. It's now or never. The group rushed toward the central chamber, where the sanctuary's core pulsed with ancient power. Ilara's confession hung heavy in the air, but now survival was their only focus. Inside the core chamber, Lyra tapped into the alien technology, activating defense systems that pulsed with energy shields and automated sentry drones. Marcus gritted his teeth, holding off the advancing Sentinels with the help of the drones. Jack fought fiercely, protecting Lyra as she worked. Ilara stayed back, conflicted between guilt and determination. Suddenly, the beast, the relentless predator that had chased Lyra across worlds, burst through a damaged wall, its massive form roaring. The Sentinels faltered, distracted by the beast's arrival. Jack's eyes widened. "The beast's here?" Lyra's voice was urgent. "It's been tracking me. It wants to finish what it started." The beast lunged at Jack, who barely dodged, firing rounds that only slowed it. Ilara suddenly stepped forward, standing between Jack and the beast. "Wait," she shouted. "The beast isn't just a monster. It's controlled by the Sentinels." Jack glanced at her, shocked. "How?" Ilara explained. "The Sentinels use it to hunt down refugees like Lyra. But the beast is still alive inside, struggling to break free." Lyra stepped forward, eyes softening. "If we can reach its mind, we might stop it." Jack looked between Ilara and Lyra, hope flickering amid chaos. With Ilara's help, Lyra activated a device from the sanctuary's core, a neural interface designed to connect minds. Lyra reached out, touching the beast's massive head. A flash of light burst from the device, and the beast roared, but this time it faltered. Its eyes flickered from rage to confusion. Inside the beast's mind, Lyra and Ilara shared a vision, a trapped consciousness fighting for control. Ilara's voice echoed in the shared mind space, "You don't have to be their weapon." The beast growled, then slowly retreated, confused, but no longer hostile. Outside, the sentinels hesitated, sensing their control slipping. Seizing the moment, Jack and Marcus pushed the sanctuary's defense to full power, repelling the sentinels' forces. The sanctuary's walls glowed brighter, energy surging through every corner. The sentinels, faced with a united front of humans, aliens, and a freed beast, withdrew, their invasion thwarted. In the aftermath, the sanctuary's core hummed with a peaceful glow. Jack, Lyra, Ilara, and Marcus gathered, exhausted but victorious. Ilara looked at them, her eyes sincere. "I'm sorry for hiding the truth, but we did what we had to." Lyra nodded. "We fought together, and that's what matters." Jack smiled, feeling a warmth he hadn't known in a long time. "We're stronger together," Marcus cracked. A rare smile. "I guess even traitors can change sides." They all laughed, relief washing over them. Epilogue. A new dawn. Months later, the sanctuary stood as a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity between worlds. Jack had become a guardian of the sanctuary, working alongside Lyra, Ilara, and Marcus to protect refugees and share knowledge. The beast, now free, lived in peace, its fierce spirit tempered by newfound freedom. Jack often thought about the lessons learned. Survival was not just about fighting enemies. It was about trust, forgiveness, and the strength found in unexpected allies. Ilara's betrayal had nearly destroyed them, but it also forced them to confront harsh truths and grow stronger. Lyra's courage had saved them all, and Marcus's resilience had held them together. In a universe full of mysteries and dangers, humanity's greatest power was its heart, its capacity to endure, to connect, and to rise above fear. Final lesson. True strength is not in weapons or power, but in unity and compassion, the ability to trust, forgive, and fight for a better tomorrow, no matter how dark the present may be. The end.